I've been a firm believer that Interchange is one of the best maps in Tarkov for a very long time, but with the .12 update, some of the things that weren't worth a lot are now worth some serious coin. So in this guide, I'm going to show you guys all the updated loot spawns for Interchange in as quickly as possible, so stick around and hopefully this guide will help you make some money. So we're going to be starting off here on the Emrakon checkpoint or the Ollie ramp. We're going to be heading inside. We're going to see on the right we've got the Goshan fire. And we're going to make our way into the back of Ollie. Now there's a lot of loot in here that a lot of new players miss. But a lot of high level players also don't check. So if you do check this, you can find things like Plex, nuts and bolts, and other various items for the hideout that sell for a lot on the flea market. So definitely keep an eye out, especially this toolbox back here. Get some pliers and other things for Mechanic Gunsmith and other things in the hideout. Working our way in, we've got more shells here and also a few racks that spawn spark plugs and car batteries. Car batteries are used for a therapist task and a few things, but they also trade very, very handsomely on the flea market for about 150,000 rubles early. On these large green shells, we're going to be working our way around the back of Ollie here. We're going to be working our way, checking all the gaps in the shells for more miscellaneous hideout items that are worth a fair bit of money if you know what to look for. Especially things like nails currently and screws are worth a fortune. Making our way to the back here on the left hand side, we're going to be met with another shelf that spawns more car batteries. So keep an eye on here. As you can see, I pulled one. So that's an easy bit of money. And also on the shelves here as we run along the back hand side. Keeping an eye out for hose and other items like propane tanks and everything you need for mechanic and for peacekeeper tasks. So keep an eye out, guys, because there's a lot of things in Ollie that a lot of people overlook. And we met here with the U-desk as well. Keep an eye on the computers for flash drives, but you can also search these for wires and capacitors that sell pretty handsomely on the flea market. So if you're trying to make a buck early, these help out a lot. Working our way into Ollie Logistics, going to be checking more computers here back here, guys. Keeping an eye out from the front of them, always for flash drives, because you need 3 found in raid for Jaeger, and you also need a hand 2 in for Skier. Making our way back out to the front of Ollie, so just outside from the office that we were before, we're going to be checking the lockers for rare items such as rollers, Bitcoin, and gold chains. We're going to be checking the front registers and the shelves nearby for more things like gas analyzers and other tech items that you need early on. Remember, guys, there's a lot of things here that people overlook. Ollie is a great store, especially if you're trying to make a buck and you have no keys. Guys, this is probably one of the best stores in the game, so please keep an eye out in this area. Be checking for as many things as you can. Corrugated hose, like I've mentioned earlier, or just anything that is for those hideout items. Directly opposite Ollie, we're going to be looking at a store here called Furniture. It is opposite Texo on the left-hand side. But this store here is often overlooked and has a few goodies like a duffel bag when you walk in. But as you continue to make your way back, you've got an ammo/milk condensed spawn. And we're going to be working our way towards a shelf here that can spawn rare items in the middle. Another one, and also a TV that can spawn rare items and tech, as well as a weapons case. As we make our way back, we've also got an ammo box at the back that can spawn some nice ammos early. And a couch with a duffel bag on it on the left. And also, if we're really lucky, an AK on the couch. Now this is where the loot starts to pick up. We've got a store here called Texo. Now, Texo is a brilliant store, and I would definitely be checking this out as one of your main priorities in your loot run. And this is where you can find a lot of the tech items that you need, especially gas analyzers early, but also things like relay adapters, light bulbs for the hideout, power supply units, and many other things that you need. This is where the main money maker is, especially things in like graphics card, and if you're really lucky, Tetris, which trade for a Bitcoin at mechanic level 1. So if you pop that in your gamma, especially if you're trying to make a quick buck, you can get a lot of money out of that early. I mean, that's 158,000 rubles. I mean, you got things like wires that sell for about 20k to 30k depending on the time. So we'll be looking at a store called TechLight. Now, this is probably one of the best stores in Interchange, so definitely prioritize checking it. There's a lot of tech items here, magnets, G phones, GPX, Tetris. There's also a lot of other items like circuit boards, but also behind this generator, we've got things like fuel conditioner. They're worth a lot of money for a Ragman task. Also got an AK spawn here as well as a bunch of other attachments, but the tech in here is insane. I would definitely prioritize getting this for things like CPUs and other hideout, things like capacitors, wires, drills, magnets, anything you need for trades early on. To keep an eye out here, you can make a quick buck especially if you keep an eye out, and you can also pull things like Tetris if you're very, very lucky, especially on this end shelf, where the very, very end shelf we're about to check here is a good chance. The next door we're going to be looking at is opposite Techlight. This is the unlocked med rooms, a little blue shack here, but in between the shelves and also along the ground, a good chance of Saliwas early on and also Morphine. So definitely check this every time you get a chance to. Moving directly to the right of it, there's a dark tech room here with a bunch of pedestals in the middle of the store. Be sure to check each one for random tech items located on top, like graphics cards. So we're going to be heading back down the escalator to a store called Rasmussen, or Rasmussen, and it is right next to the furniture store. Heading inside, the first thing we're going to be met with is a table that spawns some tech. As you can see, there's a Nixa lens there, but also working our way to the right, we've got a weapons case, and on both sides, there's these opposing shelves that spawn tech on both of them, as well as these middle tables that have a chance to spawn other items. Keep an eye out, guys. This is a great money-making spot. You got things like wires, capacitors, CPUs, G-phones, everything that you need for the hideout and more. Alright, so we're going to be leaving Rasmussen and we're going to head towards the middle area. Running past the ramp, there is a large weapons crate underneath it, but we're not going to show that here. We're going to pop into Generic. Now, Generic's the store with the crashed looking APC in it, and we're going to walk inside and see some ammos on the shelf, a small black weapons crate, and also a large weapons crate there. Heading into the middle of the store, we're going to see another weapons crate on the table, a jacket, a shelf that can spawn condensed milk and ammo, and also a rare spawn on the bed. Heading over, we've got a mannequin that can spawn Gazelle and a weapons cabinet. So, moving away from Generic, we're going to be heading towards Kiba. Now, Kiba is probably one of the most OP stores in the game. It requires 2 keys. One key can be traded for 50 condensed milk or found in certain locations that I will show in another video called the Kiba key. And you're going to have to open the outer door with this key, which is incredibly rare. And then you're going to be met with another door here that you need to unlock with one that you get from Gunsmith. You get this from Gunsmith Part 16 for completing the AS Val. Heading inside, we're going to be met with a mannequin that can spawn UN armor and Gen 4 HMK, as well as a Pharaoh helmet. Jumping over the counter here, we've got a weapons cabinet that can spawn DVLs. More weapons attachments on the inside of these open display cabinets. Checking for attachments, and also along the top wall for things like RSASs, VSSs, AK-105s, M4s, and many other pre-built guns that are really awesome for money. Checking for more attachments, we're going to keep our eye out. As we move away to the rack, we're going to find an MP5 here. Now, this MP5 can be handed in to Gunsmith complete and ready to rock and roll for Gunsmith Part 3. As we open the small black crate, we've got a green crate as well. Checking the shelf for more attachments, we've got another shelf here, and another wall that can spawn an MPX, AK-105s, and Raider M4s. Checking for 7N ammo, condensed milk, more attachments, but we're going to head over to a box here that spawns grenades, keeping an eye out because they're worth a fair bit of money. Running over to the last container here, we're just going to quickly check for more attachments. Heading away from Kiba, we're going to be heading into the store called Goshan. Now, this is like the north, you would call, sort of wing, like on Shoreline. But we're going to head back, and there's some trucks here. We're going to move past this little med shack, and we're going to go through the cafe called Goshan Cafe, and the first thing we're going to be met with is a few spawns for food. But once we're inside Goshan, we're going to quickly take a look here. On one side, we've got the fire on the right-hand side, and on the left, we have what I call the Kiba tent side. So we're going to head towards the southeast side, which is the fire side, and we're going to be checking some of the lockers back here, as well as some of the registers. Now, these registers can be unlocked with a Goshan register key, but in my humble opinion, it's not worth it, although you do need it for a task. Checking these lockers, we're going to be keeping an eye out for gold chains, rollers, and also Bitcoins if you're feeling extra lucky. It's worth a check every time you're there, as well as a weapons crate behind the counter, a hard AKM spawn, and also a food / condensed milk spawn. We're going to be heading around into what I call the Ollie back offices, or what I like to say is the sneaky way to Ollie. There's a lot of computers back here, so keep an eye out for flash drives as always. The weapons spawn along that table. But checking the front of each computer, obviously for a hard flash drive spawn as we see here, they are worth an absolute stinking fortune. So make sure you save up these guys and keep them, because you need 2 for Skier and 3 for Jaeger. As we gamma this flash drive, I'm going to be showing you guys more computers, keeping an eye on the front of them. As always, a weapons crate. But for reference, I'm going to run out this door here and show you whereabouts we are. So earlier when I was showing you guys Ollie, this is where the tech store is down the end there, and the escalator, the tech light. So we're back inside Goshan now. Just before the door when we ran into the office, we're going to jump the counter here and check for condensed milk. We also got a large black weapons crate on the right there in the light here. We're checking all these shells for Tushonka for the therapist task. Also large tins of Tushonka that you can use for the Jaeger task and Iskra lunch boxes. To keep an eye out on all these shells. We've also got batteries here on the left that can spawn car batteries, as well as a cheeky little back office here that can lead out to the back of Goshan. We're going to go through this door. I'm going to show you something awesome. Once you're through this door, we're going to go look at a spot that's often overlooked. I call this crates on crates. It's a bunch of shipping containers, but if you run to the back, boost on top of these barrels, you've got a weapon container at the top, and moving our way past here, down through this open shipping container, there's another weapons container, and if you go out and behind the one next to it, there's another black one here with a weapons and also food spawn. Moving away out of here, we're going to be met with more. If you know where to look, there's going to be another weapons attachment spawn here on top of these boxes, and an ammo box as well. For reference, for anyone confused about where we are, I'm going to run out to the back and we're going to see the ramp that we ran up. So we're going to be checking the back of Goshan here, moving away from the Ollie side towards the Idea side. Checking all these shells for things like hand drills and other items that you use to upgrade your hideout and or for trades. Guys, keep an eye out because these things here are worth a lot of money and are often overlooked. We're going to be checking between the trucks here for a Saliwa spawn, as well as other items like weapons attachments, a large weapons crate, and other awesome things that are often overlooked. Working our way towards the back, we've got more spawns for tools and also a weapons crate in the back of a van. We've got another weapons crate on the left here that is also tucked away quite easily to miss. And we're going to push past all these shelving, checking for more tools and other things like hand drills and other rare attachment hideout options. Sorry guys, checking all the shells on the right hand side for the same thing. So we just explored the fire side or the south side of Goshan. So now we're going to go to the other side, the Idea side. It's basically a complete and utter mirror. Checking all the registers here. You can unlock these with the Goshan register key. But we're heading towards the back office now. This is what I call the Idea back offices. It's just exactly the same as the other side. More computers to be checking here. For USB or flash drives in the front of them, as well as searching them for capacitors and wires for easy profit. We're going to be met with pretty much of the sameness here, but we've also got a crate underneath the stairs here and a little sneaky way to get up to the second floor. If we push through this door here, for reference guys, over here we're looking through the sneaky way towards Idea. So now we're going to be exploring the Idea side or the Kiva tent side of Goshan. Now inside this area we're going to be met with more shells that spawn Tushonka. More importantly, we've got this little campfire over here with a bunch of tents. Checking the inside guys, you can find a lot of awesome things like gold chains and other rare items. If you're lucky, a Bitcoin. As you can see here, I pulled myself a little cheeky little gold chain. This is where the Kiva key spawns. Not exactly in this tent here, but you're about to see on this little platform, on this white collapsed box is where the Kiva key will spawn that I showed earlier. That key is worth a killing, so keep an eye out when you're there. We're going to be checking out some of the stuff around this area as a small little black weapons crate. Jumping over, we're going to be met with more shelves that spawn Tushonka and condensed milk if you're lucky. Working our way around towards the other side, we've got another back shelf here that can spawn batteries as well. So keep an eye out on these shelves because they can make you a bit of cash. Moving out to the back of Goshan where we were before when I showed you the back spawns. We're going to head outside and we're going to go towards So here we are on the Idea ramp, looking at the fire over at Goshan, running down the ramp to a place called the power station. Now not only is this an exfil, but there's a lot of loot in here, so keep an eye out. Working our way inside, we're going to be met with the generator on the right that can spawn fuel conditioner, a toolbox, 2 jackets out the front and 2 jackets at the back that spawn cigarettes. Moving our way in, we've got a streamer item there, 4 shelves, more PCs, and also a tech spawn. So checking all the front of these computers, make sure that we're not getting flash drives on them because they are worth a fortune. And we're also going to be met with one of the extracts at the back there, the SUV. Moving away from the power station, we are in the back of Idea, just up from the ramp that we were before. We're going to be checking these back shelves. This is very similar to the back of Goshan, also the back of Ollie. More miscellaneous tied out items, so keep an eye out, guys. There's more screws, nuts, nails if you're lucky. A lot of items that you can sell on the flea market. Idea offices. Now, idea offices back here have a lot of tech. Keep an eye out in the gap between each box. You can find things similar to what you would find in Texo or TechLite. More miscellaneous tech items that are worth a fortune. Graphics cards if you're lucky. CPUs, G-phones, broken GPX, Nixor lenses, broken LCDs, everything that's worth a bit of money. So keep an eye out. We've also got an office nearby, which is handy. Keep an eye out for computers and checking the front for flash drives. As we make our way around, we're going to be checking all the fronts of them. As always, guys, make sure this is one of your habits. Always keep an eye out. We're going to be checking a bench here that has a few things on my right-hand side. A few tech item spawns. You can find things like graphics cards just standing there. And a duffel bag. So we're going to be checking the front of Idea. Now, the front of Idea is similar. We have an Idea cash registers key. And not really worth it, but we're going to head back to this little couch that we ran past to get into the offices, and this is called Lion Couch. As you can find a bronze lion in the gap there. As we make our way back, we're going to be checking what I call the statue run. We're going to be checking for a statue right there in that gap, or a statue in the middle there, like a cat figurine, and we're going to be keeping an eye out everywhere through here in some of the displays for bronze lions, cats, and many other things, especially in the gap there, that you need for a living high is not a crime. There's a cat spawn on there, weapons attachments on this shelf right there. So just keep an eye out, guys. When you're moving past this area, always keep an eye on it. They're worth a bit of money. The bronze lions are about 150k at the moment. We've also got a spawn underneath the table and in the gaps of these tables here. So keep an eye on top and down below of each one. An often overlooked spot at the front of Idea is a sneaky little escalator that I call Sneaky Idea Escalator. We're going to run down this escalator and we'll be met with a few things. Not only is this one of the ways in, but there's often overlooked a lot of loot underneath the escalator. Here is a chance of an AK on top of this box. You've got a packer spawn on the left. You've also got weapons attachments like thermals and a large weapons crate down the bottom here. This is a really great spot early on and I always check it. Moving to the left, we're going to be met with a duffel bag, as well as a weapons container just over on this crate here. And as we push into the other side, we're going to be met with a 3M spawn in this cage, as well as another duffel bag in the back corner. Alright, so we're going to be moving away from Idea, and we're going to be heading to a store called TWS. Now, TWS is a very often overlooked store, running past T-Ren back towards the middle of the store. This is a dark-looking, very barricaded room here. We've got a couple jackets out the front of it, and it's right next to Emricon for reference. But inside here is a lot of sweet loot. Checking these tables, we've got tech, a duffel bag, as well as tech on the left-hand side. And these shelves can spawn it all the way through, as well as a lot of awesome med spawns. This is probably one of the most overlooked stores, but it has a lot of loot to offer if you know where to look. As well as rare spawns on this table here, and just keep an eye out, guys. If you ever get the chance to search the store, always take the time to do it. The next store we're going to be checking opposite TWS is a store called MES or Emricon. To find the key, you have to find it in the back seat of the crashed ambulance in front of the gas station on Customs. If you're not sure where, look it up on the wiki, but this is a great key to have early, as well as the fact that you need it for a skier task called Chemical. Working our way in, we're going to be met with a lot of meds in here, guys. This is why I suggest getting this key early, as you can really pull a lot of things, especially like morphines and Saliwas when they're worth a fortune, and you can flip them or hand them in. As we make our way in, we're going to be met with shelves everywhere that spawn them, as well as a cheeky little table in the back here with a computer screen that spawns a Tetris and random other tech items. So keep an eye out there. It's often overlooked. Check all the shelves for morphine and other things like stims. Further towards the middle, there is a store called Voyage. It is just closer to Kiba, and then in the back there's a large weapons crate, a jacket, a shelf, and also another jacket in the corner. As we move our way right directly next to it, we've got a store called German, which is a dark tech room opposite Mantis. Checking on all the pedestals and the back shelving here, we can find some really nice tech, similar to TechLite and Texo. This is just completely opposite Mantis, and it's very easy to locate. If you're not sure where, just near Kiba where I showed earlier. But heading into Mantis, this is probably the last place we're going to check here, but keep an eye out because this is a great store early. I prioritize the hell out of this store because there's a lot of spawns for meds in here, as well as a rare item spawn on this back shelf and this wooden container here. But checking the duffel bag and all the other med spawns around this area can result in a lot of Saliwas and morphine early game. So keep an eye out on all these little pedestals near each bed, because you can pull those morphine and Saliwa very, very easily and effectively. If you can bang out the task as well, you can start flipping them early on the flea market for a bit of extra cash. This is a great spawn for it, but be wary because this is where Killer likes to hang out. If you want to know how to kill Killer, check the description, guys. I also have a guide on how to kill him and how he behaves. So if you are interested in that, peep that in the description down below. Hey guys, so that concludes my Interchange 101. If this guide helped you in any way learn some of the spawns of the map, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. As always, guys, I stream 6 days a week on Twitch. If this video helped you in any way or you have any questions, make sure to stop by anytime, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one.